Alright, so now we're back and we're moving on to doing the X carriage. So this is really the last step in the mechanical build. The parts that we're going to need for this are we're going to need the two Y carriages and clamps. You're going to need the Y end stop. You're going to need two 20-tooth idlers and two smooth idlers. The X end stop. You're also going to need the X carriage with the 4 dowels and the linear rods. And I have gone ahead already and I've inserted the knurled inserts here and on the sides here through where the belt tensioners are going to go. I've inserted the dowels already. On the Y carriages there's 6 inserts. Here, here, and these 4. There's also nuts that go into these holes where you're going to be clamping down the rods to the X carriage. And I did put the X end stop tag there. Now if you look on the flag, I printed this one in black. I printed this one in the red PET G. It was having an issue with always triggering the end stop, so I just went ahead and put a little black electrical tape over it, or you can paint it black. I would suggest painting the end stop flag, or printing the end stop flags out of black. You can just use PLA for that. And then you're also going to need the 2 8mm rods for the X axis. So we're just going to go ahead, we're going to put the X carriage on the 2 rods, like so. Now we need to put the Y end stop flag on. Clean this hole up a little bit so it slides in there. Printed this with a brim. I guess I didn't get it all. Alright, so we have the Y end stop flag on. Make sure it's in this orientation. Now when you're putting the Y carriages on, so this is going to be the front of the printer where these dowel posts are. You want the section with the smooth idler facing the inside of the print, or towards the front of the printer, and the 20-tooth idler towards the back. So you're going like this. This one we're going like this. And you just need to push them to where they're flush with the end there. Now, this part gets a little tricky. You want to try to center one of these right on the 2 bearings. And so you're gonna have to play with this part of it a little bit to get it just right. Alright, and once you get them centered, go ahead ahead and put the clamps on. Of course, I've got grease all over my hands again, so. And I like to just put 2 on the corners here. Make sure it's holding it in place. I'm tightening them evenly so I keep even pressure from both sides. So. Spin this around, put 2 on the other side real quick. Now I can go ahead and put the other screws in. So, let's actually spin this around the right way here. Yeah, nice smooth movement. Now the next step is going to be to put the belt tensioner knobs inside of here. and then the belt clamps right there. I'm going to make sure that we attach a link or a picture in the description of the video to the layout of the belt, but it's pretty self-explanatory as you get on. So really the only thing we have left to do is we need to install the belt and then get going on the hot end. Now, excuse me, I've gone ahead and already assembled my hot end. Forgive the secondary color for the fan, but I need to install the 30mm cooling fan there, and that's about it. But everything's clamped and in place, and so you guys can see kind of an idea of how it works. There's one screw insert that I've already attached there, and this. Clips in there, and then you just put the one screw through the back, and there's your print head. So next step, like I said, I'm not going to attach this quite yet. This is the last step. So the next steps are, we're going to go ahead and put the belt in and get that properly tensioned. We will mount the extruder mount with the hot end, and then we will position the bed once the hot end and the bed are mounted. Remember how I said to leave these loose, because we're going to end up sliding this forward or backwards so that we make sure we're not losing space on the y-axis, because it does need to be shifted a little bit towards the front, only because you're losing room with this X carriage back here. So, but that's all built into the frame, so you won't actually lose room if you position this correctly. So we'll go ahead and get to that in the next video.